Run. Run. What's poppin', y'all? Welcome back to another YouTube video, and today we're taking a look at Run, which is a movie on Netflix, which I've seen quite a lot advertised, and Netflix gave me the double thumbs up saying that they'll think I'll absolutely love this, so I decided to give it a watch. Me, my mum, and my brother saw it on Netflix as we were scrolling through. We didn't pay much attention to it, but I decided to give it a watch on my own one night, because I love a good horror movie before bed, so I watched this movie, so you guys don't have to. But after this video, I bet you'll be wanting to go watch it for yourselves. So without any further delay, let's head over to Google and see what they have to say about this movie called Run. This movie is exclusive to Netflix. You can only watch it on Netflix, so if you do want to watch it, that is the place to go. It did come out, I do believe, in 2019, 2020-ish. It is a horror mystery, which is 1 hour and 30 minutes. You can gets a 6.7 out of 10 on IMDb and an 88% on Rotten Tomatoes. And Chloe, a teenager, is forbidden from seeing the male and is kept in isolation. She soon starts suspecting her mother for keeping her dark secrets and decides to investigate. That's not really how this movie goes, I'm gonna be honest. It opens up with the mother looking at a baby in an incubation box. I am extremely sorry, I don't know what the actual name of this machinery is, but it's what's keeping the baby alive. And then we cut to the future, which is where her mum is in like this sort of counseling group where everybody's talking about their children who need a little bit more help than other children, and she is pretty happy to see her daughter off to college, and she is going home, bringing some sort of stuff home, and her daughter and her have a pretty good relationship. It shows us the good side of their relationship until Chloe decides to go through the shopping bags, and she finds some pills, which actually have her mum's name on it, and she gets a little bit panicky because she's then given one of those pills later on that night, and she doesn't know what these pills are. The mum cuts off the internet, the mum cuts off the telephone, and her mum cuts off the everything else, really. Any way of communicating with the outside, her mum cuts off, and even with the mail, she's keeping it from her, and all this starts to sort of trigger her brain to be like, hey, hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right. So she starts doing an investigation on like what these pills are. She goes to the pharmacy when she should be watching a movie, and she finds out that they're dog pills for her dog. She doesn't have a dog, and she finds out that if a human does take them, that it'll make their legs not work and make their legs very numb. And one of the diseases that her mum has told her that she has is one where it makes her legs not really work. She also has something wrong with her heart. She has something where she needs an inhaler, and she has something that she needs like glucose for. And it does give you these really big scientific words for them and what they mean at the start, so you know what like she's been diagnosed with. I'm gonna be honest, there's a lot of big words. I described it to you as easily as possible and more digestible than what the movie does, because they give you like the full Oxford Dictionary description of what it is, and I didn't really understand until I was shown like what medication she needs to help it in the movie. And she goes and investigates. Her mum locks her in her room, so then she can't get out, so she climbs out the roof, breaks into her mum's room, breaks back into her own room to get the inhaler, throws herself down the stairs because she stopped the chairlift. She then starts to get some feeling back in her toes. She escapes. She runs into the mailman who wants to help her escape. The mailman then gets fucking murked by the mum, and her mum locks her in the basement. She decides to investigate in the basement, see what else is in there, and she finds like her mum actually kidnapped her as a baby. She kidnapped her as a baby because her baby actually died. And then she decides to chug bleach. she ends up in the hospital. She tries to warn the hospital that her mum's psycho. Her mum then runs away with her, and they get stopped by the police, and then she is slowly learning to walk, and I do believe she got into medication, like, in university, and she's made a lot of friends, and that's where the movie really ends. I'm going to be honest, this movie is really well written. Having the main villain as someone that you should feel comfortable with, as someone that you should trust, and someone that should have your best interest at heart, with the villain being the mum, is a really good choice. It also gives you that feeling that she is trapped, with making the character need, like, you know, like, all these different medications. It makes you sort of worry for her a lot more, because she is very capable and she can do everything that she needs to do, but in the situations that her mum puts her in, it is a very vulnerable position for her to be in, and her mum definitely makes her life harder and is definitely keeping the truth from her. Like, most of this stuff she doesn't actually suffer with. It's her mum doing it to her with these certain medications, and that is insane. That shit's crazy. And having the mum be the main villain, and having all these different medications that she has to take, and show us the contrast between the good times at the start and how the mum can be seen in such a good light, such a caring, helpful way, to her at the end being very twisted and not right. Something isn't right there, and we see that stem from the fact that her child died, and that can leave a lot of trauma, a lot of hurt within the mum, and it obviously has, and led to her making all these bad decisions where she is very overprotective and definitely keeping her child in a bubble, keeping her child for herself, in a sort of very pet-like way, by controlling everything that she does, everything that she sort of interacts with, having everything scheduled and sort of on a certain timesheet, lying to them to sort of keep them out of the loop and to sort of keep control over them. It is really clever and genuinely batshit insane, and this is, again, something that can happen, something very realistic, and that's what I like in my horror. Seeing her sat in the dark downstairs watching the daughter on the computer is fucking insane. That shit is fucking wild. Seeing her in the background of some shots when she's supposed to be at work or in bed and just watching the daughter is really creepy, and definitely sets up that there's something not quite right with the mum. And I didn't expect her to have stolen another kid. I'm going to be completely honest. That is not something that I expected for this movie to actually pull for the audience, but holy shit, I really like this movie, and I definitely recommend that you watch this movie. This is a really good movie, and the scenes in it are so intense because of, like, her being quite helpless in some situations. In most of the situations, she is quite helpless to what's happening, with her not being able to talk because she drank bleach, with her being drugged, so not being able to, like, sort of move properly, and it just makes the situations so much more tense and builds suspense so good that this movie is like a 9 out of 10 for me. You definitely have to go check this one out for yourself. And other than that, I'm going to leave it there because I don't want to spoil too much of the movie for you. And I hope you all enjoyed this YouTube video. I'll see you all next one. I hope you all have an excellent day. And goodbye. Stay home and stay safe.